there is no appetite for this, and I think it's the president who's out of step. And so I think that my fellow colleagues in the House are hearing what the people are saying from back home.
Congresswoman Michelle Bachmann on the debate that continues in Washington. President Obama, meantime, demanding that budget negotiators find common ground on a debt limit plan by the end of this week. He meets again today with congressional leaders. Let's see how Congressman Scott Tipton thinks things are going. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing, April?
Very good, thanks. The president keeps referencing President Reagan and the need for compromise and coming together. And he says Democrats really are moving toward the middle and Republicans are not. Do you feel that your side is doing enough to come to the middle?
The president is actually living in a mist world. He's missing an opportunity to be able to put a plan on the table. We're hearing a lot of talk out of the president, and he keeps talking about the big plan of $4 trillion. Effectively, all we can glean, because he will not put it on paper, is it's going to be $1 trillion in cuts, $3 trillion in job-killing tax increases on the American people when we need to be able to get people employed. The president has to come to the table with an actual plan. We passed a plan. The president is yet to respond other than hold meetings, and he will not put a plan on a piece of paper for us.
Congressman, this may seem like a simplistic question, but I think a lot of times for those of us out here in flyover country, we wonder exactly what all this means. Well, what is the purpose of a debt ceiling if anytime we want, we can just raise it?
That's exactly the point, and I think that's the real frustration. American families have hit not only a debt ceiling but a debt wall. Every time they go to the grocery store, every time that they go to the gas pump, they're seeing higher costs, and they've had to be able to reduce their expenditures elsewhere just to make that family budget balance. They expect Washington to be able to do the same thing, and we continue to call on the president to put a plan on the table like we have to try and seek a real solution to get the America back on a path to prosperity as opposed to a debt-ridden future for our children.
Do you think too much has been made of this deadline, though? Let's say August 2nd rolls around, a deal doesn't get done. Do we truly default on those loans?
We just had Moody's come out, and they were talking about downgrading it. Here's the real reality. That is not so. We can give the president even an additional 30 days, and they have other gimmicks, irregardless of what Secretary Geithner would like to have us believe that they can be able to use. But we're going to have $172 billion in revenues coming in over this month. And that means we're going to be able to pay the $29 billion in interest charges on the national debt. We can meet the $49 billion in Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, the $50 billion for that, active duty military pay of $2.9 billion, Defense Department $31.7 billion, the IRS refunds of $3.9 billion. We can give them a little more time if they need it to actually come up with a plan rather than platitudes.
Well, the economic horizon does not look good for us right now, and I know all eyes are going to be on Washington as we continue to watch this debate going back and forth and the conversations. Thanks to Congressman Scott Tipton, I beg your pardon, for joining us here for a few minutes this morning on the debt debate and the debt ceiling in Washington.